time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Nielsen, Cass, and Gage with you once again on the Nielsen Media Coolbet Network, brought to you by our great partners over at Coolbet. If you're going to be ready to bet the National Hockey League playoffs, which are a week away, make sure you sign up for an account at Coolbet. Use the code 2GUYS when you do. Cass, Gager, how was the weekend, boys?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, lots of fun. It was a busy weekend. Like, there's lots of family stuff going on. So the kids were exhausted. I was exhausted. Mandy was exhausted. And I was just telling Gager, the worst of it is I made a sandwich with leftovers today, and I used some of the leftover baguette to make said sandwich. And I cut off, the dry part at the end to get the nice soft bread. And I still cut the roof of my mouth taking a bite. So, little unfortunate, but
Are we talking bleeding? Are you bleeding in your top of your mouth?
I can taste it a little bit. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Right in the roof.
Wow.
Yeah, just a little nick.
Damn.
Yep.
Where do you get your?
It's gonna be more like I can kind of
from. Where do you get your baguettes from? What's going on here? Like,
well, it's because they were from. It's 2 days old now, right? Because I bought it on Saturday for Sunday, and so it's so it's 2 days. And I like the crusty, like the crunchy. This inside was still soft. It's an Italian Center one. They do a good job with their baguettes, and maybe I tried to bite off more than I could chew.
Yeah.
Man, you got really funny over the weekend, Cass. That's good. Gager, how was your weekend?
It's good. I always try to remember what I did. And it was my niece's 20. She turned 21. She already did, but we had her birthday party. My brother-in-law made the best smashed burgers for her birthday.
This is a new buzz now. Hey, everybody wants the smash burger. I had somebody
else.
Somebody texted me. One of my buddies texted me last week. He goes, "Hey, we should get together for barbecue. Do some smash burgers." And I'm like,
"It's an old
what's
buzz.
up with everybody talking about smash burgers right now? What's a smash burger?"
Get a cast iron flat top for your grill. If you don't want to do it inside, so it's not smoky, you just get a good cast iron, like a flat top thing for your grill, and you got to get a good burger press. For like a hand, like a metal.
So what's a burger press? I've never done the burger press.
It's just like a heavy weighted thing that you press down. You can use a brick too.
Disgusted right now, like
yeah, depending on the size of the burger. It's just like a heavy weighted thing, may or may not have a handle that you just basically smush the burger with.
Okay, so why do you have to smash them as opposed to just
doing
regular cutting and?
No, you start as a ball, and the reason you do that, Dusty, is because of something called the Maillard effect. It's science.
What?
And so when you pressing it in and adding the weight like to the heat of the flat top, that's what gets you like a really, really crusty brown. So if you like dunk it, basically you can dunk it in like melted butter beforehand. So like if you make your burger balls, dunk them in melted butter, or and then put them on there and then smush them down because of the butter and that. So your oil and then the heat of the cast iron and then the pressure you're putting down, you get like an ultra crunchy exterior to the burger. That's what a smash burger does, is you get a lot of that crunch because of the Maillard effect, which is why people love it so much.
I don't think I've ever had a smash burger then. I don't think anybody's ever smashed a burger for me.
Well, you may have had it at like restaurants, like the restaurant called Smash Burger does them.
I've never had smash burger at a restaurant. Gager, is this juice worth the squeeze or what?
Oh man, you get the onions in there, like the fixins is what with the crispy onions,
them on
the
flat
fresh
top too,
sweet onion. It was
I hate onions. I got no onions on this. No onions.
Oh yeah, you got to go onions, mushrooms. You get the
in the burger.
They call it my brother did double patties.
Okay, all right.
He did awesome double patties with what's called American cheese, just cheddar or whatever. But they were on a really deadly bun. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
So Dusty, just to clarify for you, when he's talking about the double burgers, because you make them a little smaller, you're not making them as massive as you can with this. Okay. Like you don't have big balls. Like when I do them, I don't have big balls.
You don't know how many different names I've got for this episode, right? The Maillard effect, big balls. You don't have big balls.
You weigh them out so they're a little bit smaller, but when you press them, they get really, really thin, right? So you usually do a double stack. So I'm assuming that's what you did, Gager. Then you put all the toppings in between.
Yep.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it was, and he did him on we did him on his smoker too, his Louisiana.
Does he have the
burgers?
extra heat thing, like the fire, so you get like
the huge,
extra hot? Yeah,
he's got the deluxe Louisiana one that's a joke. So Yeah, every single animal in the neighborhood was salivating with this thing going
You know, they're
on.
an Edmonton company.
Yeah,
You know that?
yeah,
We should try to get sponsored by them. So if anyone
should,
from Louisiana
because-
Grills and Pit Boss is listening, that would be awesome. We'll
Great.
talk about your stuff all the time.
We
Yeah.
already do, apparently. We didn't even know it. That's
Yeah.
wow. This seems like a pretty drawn out, long process. I mean, especially
No, it's
if you're
fast.
smoking,
no,
like-
it's quick,
No,
man.
it's
You
quick.
can
What?
do this.
Because you
Wow.
don't
I
overmix
might
the
have to
patties.
have
You
this
don't
guy over for
you
the
don't
smash
mix
burger
anything in.
barbecue.
Like Dusty, you don't put the salt. You don't even put salt and pepper in until you smash them, right? Like I like doing the butter because then you get it super super crisp. But then you smash them, then you put salt and pepper on the side, and then you flip it, and then you put salt and pepper, and then put your cheese on it.
Is it a
Like,
hard
it's
smash or are you
fast.
slow smashing
Oh,
it?
it's
Hard?
yeah.
Really? So
Well, I
boom.
mean, like no,
No,
like no.
no,
Like
break.
it's a firm
Yeah.
press.
I feel like I'm gonna get burnt. I feel like I'm gonna get burned doing this. But yeah,
The biggest thing was the fresh ground chuck from Friesen Brothers too. Which
Don't
was,
get lean ground beef.
no lean.
No,
No,
get
full.
because we always roll
Dusty,
lean ground
no.
beef here at home.
Oh,
No.
that's a
no
joke.
for
Why
burgers.
do that?
That's a sin.
Sorry,
What are you
boys.
We
doing?
need to beg for
But
forgiveness.
you're gonna hate this. Most of the time in the summer, we have burgers. They're just frozen patties from the store.
Dusty.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's
guys.
okay. It's okay.
It is
once in a
okay.
You
while.
just
It-
get, like
it-
regular
it's-
beef, regular beef, and then okay.
Regular beef.
Just because of the fat content. Because
Okay.
so the like lean ground beef is great for a lot of stuff. We use it for a lot of cooking, but for burgers, and I don't know how many times I've told my wife if she's going to the store, like every time, and I know she knows at this point, but I'm like, get the regular beef, like
Regular
the medium
beef, yeah.
chuck. Yeah, because it has a higher fat content, which just means when you hit them with the heat, you're gonna lose less of the fat and juice out of the burgers, and they just end up being more juicy. Other tip is after you make your balls, after you make them, stick them on a pan and put them back in the fridge for
Ouch.
15-20 minutes. So like when you get them nice and round, put them in the fridge and let them cool off
Let 'em
again.
set.
Because when you handle them with your hands, the fat starts to melt a little bit because of the warmth of your hands, and you want their burgers are a little bit better if they go onto the pan cold. So steaks,
Wow.
steaks you're supposed to take out and let them rest,
Yeah,
like come
yeah.
up to room temperature a little bit. Burgers is the opposite. You want them cold, like cool, not like cold, but you want them cool. So after you make the balls, put them in the fridge before you pull them out to smash them.
Man, we've done 8 minutes on Smash Burger, and we got bunny trivia coming up. This is a great sandwich episode. And actually, when you mentioned Italian Center, I was going to say Italian Center is one of the places I always feel like I want to go to more, but I never
so good.
do. I always want to go there. I was doing a Golden Bears. What was it? It was during COVID, and we were doing their gala, but it had to be online, right? Like I was hosting it in the dressing room, and nobody was there. But after that, they dropped off Italian Center sandwiches for everybody involved. And I swear to God, I thought I was being sneaky about it. But, and like they deliver them, they're cut up to, they're only about like this big. The pizza, like the Italian sub ones. I thought I was trying to be sneaky about it. Like I'd get up, talk to people for a bit, then go like sit down at a different spot, grab. I must have had 6 of these fucking things because they were delicious. Like I love that place.
So good. Because we opened up a Sherwood Park branch, my firm, and it's right next door, like literally right next
That's
door.
terrible.
So anytime I'm in, which sometimes you see me in when I'm doing these, because I'll do them from there all the
Yeah.
time, and so hard for me not just to get sucked right in over there, like just a magnet. They have this smoked imported provolone and this fennel salami that just slay me. Like I could eat that stuff every day. It is so good.
Sounds nice.
That's my. I'm gonna try to smoke a few cheeses with a
Cold smoke 'em.
smoke with some cheeses this summer.
That'd be
So,
awesome. Yeah.
You guys are fancy boys. I like that. All right, let's get into some hockey from the weekend. The Edmonton Oilers. Let's play this game because I described them as a juggernaut, but the Edmonton Oilers are blank. How would you guys fill that in with the Edmonton Oilers right now, considering what they've done, especially since the trade deadline, but even back to mid-January?
Dangerous.
Ooh,
They're
The
dangerous.
Edmonton Oilers are dangerous.
They're dangerous. It's my one word.
Yeah, no, I like that one. Gager, what would you do? Then we'll dive into these words here.
Well, since they got to be fancy, I'll just say they're the Baba
One
Yaga.
word. Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga
The Oilers
of
are
the Western Conference.
The Baba Yaga of the Western Conference. Cass, it's insane what they've done. I think since they got, let me try to bring up these numbers on Ekholm. I think it was Stoff who tweeted it. I
Yeah,
tried
it's
to
a
save
joke.
the tweet. Where is it here? Which one? Well, that's just with Matthias Ekholm, but they're 16-2-1 since they got Ekholm. This guy is plus 25 in those games. He leads the team in plus minus, and he's only played 19 games with this team. Like, that is absolutely insane what they have done since they acquired him. They look to be near perfect since they got Ekholm, Cass. This guy's he's been a minus player in just one game, one of those 19 games. He's plus 6
ridiculous
on the weekend.
Yeah, ridiculous. Well, he's a Duncan Keith that hasn't hit Duncan Keith's age. Like, and I know they're different players and they play a different style, but like what Duncan Keith brought to the Edmonton Oilers in terms of veteran stability, he does that, but he's a better player at this point in his career than Duncan Keith was, obviously on the way out at the tail end. But he brings like that veteran maturity, that just the stability, and man, he's calmed the team down. But on top of that, like, as much as I like that trade was massive and his impact was huge, we can't not also give credit to the other leaders on this team. Like, we can't not give credit to Leon Draisaitl for taking risk out of his game, because he has been fantastic the last couple of weeks. Connor has cut out some of the risk in his game and upped the defensive responsibility. So, Ekholm may have been, the spark for it, and a huge part of it. But the other team, the rest of the team, I mean, they've jumped right on board and pulled right alongside with them, which is why they're dangerous. I mean, this team playing defensively responsible is a dangerous hockey team, because the offensive punch is still there. They still have the ability to put up 5 or 6 on you, but they're doing it in a way where they're not turning games into run and gun shootouts, which is what they did before. And Ekholm, I think, helps a lot with that. He's helped Darnell Nurse incredibly. Like, how many games, and this is a question for you guys on Ekholm's impact, not just statistically for Ekholm, but how many games since Ekholm has been here have you watched Darnell Nurse played and you thought, oh, that was a really tough game for Darnell Nurse?
Not many, man.
It's like he's playing pressure free. Like, where he was able to take a deep breath and not feel like it was all on him, right? Like, that pressure was relieved, and it's enabled him, I think, too, like Ekholm, to play how he needs to play, and to not try to do too much and be too much. Like, he's just, I mean, that's
a great 1-2 punch on that left side, man. Now, come on, very good. Gager, what do you think?
Well, on the Ekholm side of things, you look back to his time in Nashville, where they were a dominant team for a few years and had a run to the Cup final, and then going through some lean years. I feel it's a guy that's rejuvenated on a team that has a chance, and he recognizes that you only get a few kicks at the can at winning the Silver Chalice, and he's not only embraced coming to a new city and everything, but really taking this opportunity to take a run at a cup. Like, he knows what it looks like. He's been part of a team that's gone deep and made good runs. So he's taken full advantage, and other guys are just following along with it. It's his statistical numbers since he got here. Like, usually, I don't know, when was the last, can you name another player that came over at the deadline that has impacted a team the way Ekholm has? Like, I mean, you look at all the acquisitions at the deadline this year, and I don't think anyone's had that kind of
nobody's touched Ekholm on there.
No, it's crazy. And the fact that he's going to be he's not a rental. That's what's the best thing about it. The Oilers have set themselves up for multiple runs over the next few years. It's unbelievable.
His offensive awareness is way better than I thought it was, having not watched him a lot in Nashville. I was kind of thought he was that sort of steady force defensively, but that pass he made to Hyman on the goal on Saturday afternoon, where there's like kind of two guys coming, it's just sort of a little quick over the shoulder backhand right between both of them onto Hyman's stick. Then Hyman finished probably one that the goaltender would leg back. I mean, that's just an elite level offensive thought process play. I thought he was absolutely tremendous there. So he's been significant for them as well. Connor McDavid, obviously 150 bloody points in a single season. I mean, I wasn't sure anybody would do this. past the 1980s. But it's happened here with Connor McDavid, and the Cass still a couple games left. Like, he's not done. I want to see him get to that 155 mark, or 156 preferably. So only Mario or Wayne have had more points in a season, which isn't completely ridiculous to think he can do that here.
Oh, insane. And he could do it. I mean, and the thing is, like, he's been quiet the last week. He's been quiet, or last 2 weeks, really. He's been quiet. And then, goes a couple games without a multi-point game. And, I told Tom before that last San Jose game, I'm like, Tom, he's going to get more than 1 point tonight. Like, he doesn't go long periods of time where he's been kind of cool, which is, relative, I guess, to the rest of the league. His kind of cool is still insane. But yeah, just absolutely crazy, guys.
That was, I believe it was the first goal in San Jose, the Harlem Globetrotter goal, where it was, I couldn't believe it before the Nuge scored. Like, they're not only operating at a very high level defensively, but they're taking advantage of what the other teams give them because of that good, sound defensive structure. And that was just, and I know that I think Vlasic got hurt on the play, and they were kind of,
he was down
like
at
four and a half guys on the ice, but still, man, they were just, everyone was in sync. It looked like 5 Sedin twins out there for a while there. It was just stupid. So they're it's funny because every Oiler fan I talk to, even though the Oilers are like, they're the best team in the league operating right now. I think we can all say that, but they're just so hesitant because they're just waiting for the sky to fall down on them.
The only hesitancy that I would have, Gager, is, and this is, I remember this from Oil Stream because Tommy mentioned it a bunch of times when we were in December, and you're like, they're fighting for it. Tommy said multiple times, he's like, starting in like mid-January, they have like the second or third easiest schedule in the entire league. And I think since then they've had the fourth easiest schedule, but they've killed it. Right? It's not like they've taken that easy schedule and absolutely destroyed it, which is different than taking an easy schedule and playing it like a 600 clip. They've taken an easy schedule and absolutely embarrassed everybody along the way.
Yeah, so that just shows you that their level of play is so high that the lower teams can't handle it. It'll be fun. This first round will be fun to watch. They're ready to go. And the best thing about this, like, you look at a lot of these other teams, like, if you just look at the Pacific Division, they're going in with some injuries. Vegas has some injuries. The Edmonton Oilers are pretty much all the way through healthy. There's guys trying to fight to stay in the lineup, and it's a good situation for them to be in. It's
an ideal situation to start the postseason. And in fact,
yeah.
I think they only play 3 games in like the 10 or 11 days leading into the playoffs. So it's not even like they're playing like 4 and 6 down the stretch to get in or anything like that. They're not playing much hockey between now and the beginning of the playoffs. So if there were any bumps and bruises, that stuff should definitely be healed up by that point. So, yeah, everything is trending towards setting them up to take advantage of it with a very long run. Cass, with the season that McDavid's having, I think I saw Elliot Friedman say he's going to win the Hart Trophy. The only question is, will it be unanimous? And I said, look, the fact that that's even a question is a problem in the first place. Like, of course it should be unanimous, but do you think it will be unanimous?
No, because people want to be controversial, right?
Which is just so brutal. Like, he's had the best season.
Come on. Guy has the best season in decades. And someone might not. I mean, who knows? Maybe they don't. Maybe it is unanimous and we're just full of bluster here. But should if someone doesn't vote for McDavid as a number one top choice, like, if it's not unanimous, should they lose their ability to vote? Like, should it get revoked?
Professional hockey writers would never allow that, but you can make a case for it. Because what do you do? Like, I'll just call my shot right now. Somebody from Boston votes David Pastrnak for the MVP. That'll happen. Boston will do that. They've had a record-setting season, right? Most wins in NHL history. Pasternak scored 60, kind of quietly, really. I mean, that was a pretty quiet, hat trick to do it over the weekend, but he's had a really nice season. Now, McDavid still has something like 40 more points than him, which is what should justify McDavid winning the Hart Trophy. But somebody from Boston will vote for Pasternak. That's what will end up happening, and it won't be unanimous. Gager, what do you think?
Oh yeah, someone that watches probably Pasternak on a nightly basis is going to vote for Pasternak, right? They'll probably see McDavid. The games don't start out there till 11 o'clock at night, so they only see him score 2 points a game, probably, right? Not the remaining 3 that he gets later on in that game. So yeah, I can see Pasternak, but the only way that you. And it would have to be ridiculous. Someone would have had to have had like at least, I would say 125 points, and their team squeaks in to the last wild card spot because this guy went on an absolute tear and just dragged his team into the playoffs. Kind of like what Taylor Hall did years ago, right? That's the only thing, and no one's done that. Like the East their playoff picture has been set for months.
Yeah. And there's nobody on the Islanders or the Panthers or the Penguins this year that are dragging their team to that conversation.
No,
right?
I wouldn't.
Mind you, Kachuk's had a really good season, but still, I mean, there's other pieces there too. But yeah,
he's doing stuff that hasn't been done in decades, Dusty. He's getting to a point where you're only going to mention what he's done with possibly 2 other players. Come on,
you're going to talk about this season forever. And I just don't think you want to be that guy who's like, oh, yeah, he was the guy who didn't vote for him to be the Hart. But some of these guys might want to be that guy because they have a vote, which I just think is, to me, it's just pathetic. It's just pathetic to me. So we'll see how it sorts out. But I'm not betting. If I had to bet right now if it's unanimous or not, knowing what the hockey writers have done in the past, I'm 100% betting it won't be unanimous, and I'll take that payday all day long. I need CoolBet to get that. Actually, CoolBet could probably get that up. Nah, that won't be fair because then one of the writers will bet that it won't be, and we'll hammer it, and then so I can't. It's not going to work that way. But okay, so follow up on the because I see a lot of Skinner for the Calder and Gager. I know this is going to break your heart because you love Skinner. But I'll tell you right now why that's not going to happen, because there's a rookie goalie who has a better save percentage and a better goals against average and more shutouts than him. So it's Logan Thompson in Vegas. Statistically, he's played 9 less games because he's been hurt, but statistically his numbers are better than Stuart Skinner. And I know we love Skinner, and I'm totally on board with him being a finalist. But because of that, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Matty Beniers for the Calder, and Edmonton will be pissed about it, but I think it'll kind of be justified.
Yeah, man, I think he gets some votes, though.
Oh, yeah. He should get some votes, for sure. I'm not saying he won't get votes. I think Thompson might get some votes, too. But I think when it's all said and done, it's just like an overall unimpressive year to win the Calder because no rookie really sort of blew us all away. But I think Matty Beniers probably is going to get it. I think he probably deserves it.
Yeah, not me. I've been saying this since Christmas that Skinner should win the Calder. Like, it's a joke that Matty Beniers has done. He's scoring goals, whatever. But what Stuart Skinner's done as a first-year guy in net with the struggling Oilers at the beginning of the year and becoming an all-star and doing all what it in my mind, it's way more impressive than what Matty Beniers has been able to do. And I'm not saying he's been a great player, but Stuart Skinner's become the number 1 goalie. And that guy in Vegas, he's not even playing anymore. I don't even know his name. It doesn't matter what he's done. All right. Stuart Skinner should win the Calder. Enough said.
Cass, where do you come out of this? Gager obviously thinks he can win it. I just think he won't. But where do you come out on it?
Yeah, I don't think he will win it. He'll get some votes. He should absolutely be in the conversation. I mean, Beniers probably wins it. I mean, I don't see a situation where he doesn't, really, just from the goals he put up. But we'll see. I mean, that's one that could be interesting to see how it shakes out a little bit. I'm not as angry as Gager if he doesn't win it, if Skinner doesn't win it. I would be very disappointed if he didn't get very many votes. Like if there was, if he didn't make it to the ticket, I'd be a little sad, for sure.
And we'll see how it sorts out when it's all said and done. But I don't know. I guess I'm just bracing people to not be like, they're going to say, Edmonton screwed out of a Calder again. And I don't think that's what this, I think it's a good conversation, but I don't think they'd be getting screwed out of a Calder. Now, the President's Trophy has been a curse. Who was the last team to win it and then win the cup? Was it Chicago? You got to go back to Chicago. Is that what it was?
13.
Yeah. So the Boston Bruins just set the all-time wins record now. Obviously, it's a little bit different, more games now and the shootouts and everything. I understand that. Still an incredibly impressive season. Cass, what is it about winning the President's Trophy? And the Bruins have won it at a level that not a lot of other teams have, obviously. But what is it about that President's Trophy? And I guess in a lot of leagues, I mean, it's not always the best regular season team that goes out and gets it done in the end. But do you view it as some sort of curse, or is it just one of those things that playoffs are hard to work your way through?
Playoffs are hard to win. There's 16 teams, and generally there's 16 really good teams. And for as good as you've been, if you're Boston, you still have everything still has to go right. You still have to stay healthy. You have to get the goaltending. Your goaltenders have to be good. Your forwards have to be like every little thing has to go right to win a Stanley Cup. So it's not a curse by all means, not even close. It's just really hard to win the Stanley Cup. It is an incredibly difficult trophy to win. And so it's not surprising that a lot of President's Trophy teams haven't got the job done, because it's just really difficult to do.
Yeah, I think you have to view it less as a disappointment, Gager. And if you do win the President's Trophy and win the Stanley Cup, I mean, the Bruins at that point would be the best in the league wire to wire, which is insanely impressive.
Yeah, I see, when you say curse, I look back to those teams that, I mean, I think this is even pre-Cap era, but even when a team wins the President's Trophy, usually they don't run into a lot of adversity throughout the entire year. Or they're in a division that's not as competitive. But when I see the Bruins, they've been so dominant. And when you watch them play, the games that they play, the other teams play them really hard because they know they'll get embarrassed if they don't bring their A game. So this year, I think it's a little bit different, where the Bruins actually they've had a phenomenal year, but they've had to play at a really high level because the competition that they played against was really good too. There weren't too many nights off for them. They were battling hard. So I don't think you're going to see a lull from the Bruins in the first round like you would in years past, when sometimes you see these teams that coast, they're on cruise control with the last 2 months of this. They've won the President's Trophy with a month and a half left in the season. I don't think that's the same with the Bruins this year.
I don't want to jump the gun here, but a Bruins Oilers Stanley Cup final would be that'd be pretty phenomenal stuff. I think that would be absolutely outstanding.
It's going to be the Leafs, Dusty. Come on, it's Leafs Oilers final.
I've been already thinking about my Leafs Lightning pick. I'm already just like, oh man, maybe this is the year the Leafs actually get by the Lightning, right, Kask? If you don't do it this year, although you look at the Lightning and Hagel almost has 30 points, 49 goals. Kucherov's having a huge year. Tampa's quietly putting together a really nice season as well, and they still roll Vasilevsky between the pipes. So.
And they still have Hedman. They're still really good.
Fan, doesn't it? Dude, that's tough. That's tough.
It is tough. I mean, I hope they don't make it out of the first round, because that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. It would be so funny. Man, yeah.
I don't even know what happens there if they don't make it out of the first round. What are you supposed to do? Really good team, just.
I want to see Leafs Oilers and watch the viewership go to 0 in the States.
But 14 million in Canada. That's just under half of Canada watching that series. That would be pretty phenomenal. All right, boys, let's wrap up the episode with Name That Bunny. I've got, in honor of the Easter Bunny, we watched, I think Saturday morning. The entire family, it was a really lazy weekend around the Nielsen. You know how it is when you're sick, you're watching shows, you're playing video games, you're just chilling. We watched a movie called Hop.
Oh, good movie.
Have you seen it with James Marsden, and he's the first human Easter Bunny? Yeah. It was actually a pretty funny movie. I was laughing at a few parts. It was pretty good. I liked it. So, Cass, I don't know if your girls have seen it, but they'd probably like Hop. It's pretty good. So anyway, it got me thinking about bunnies and stuff. So I've got 7 bunny-related questions. And you need 4 to win. All right, boys, here we go. Just give me a, and then I'll give you the answer. All right, let's go old school here. All right, question number 1. Who played the role of B. Rabbit? Gager.
Eminem?
Correct. All right, Gager. That would be an 8 Mile. Cash, you watch 8 Mile, right?
I actually don't think I've ever watched it wire to wire.
Wow, that's weird.
He just knows the song. He just raps the song.
Yeah,
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. You do say that all the time. You should have known that one. All right. What was the name of the bunny in Bambi?
Thumper.
Thumper. Correct.
Oh,
Ooh, Gager, quick. All right. Roger Rabbit's wife. Gager.
Jessica Rabbit.
Holy smokes, Gager. You are a bunny expert. Cass, you got to run the table here, man. All right, let's go this one. Which battery company's mascot was a rabbit? Gager.
Energizer.
Holy man, you were on point there. Let's do the next 3 just to see how it would have gone. Which rabbit's go-to phrase is, "What's up, Doc?" Gager.
Bugs Bunny.
Cass, are you on a delay here or something? What is
must
this?
be.
My God. Which pornographic magazine's logo is a bunny? Gager.
Playboy.
Cash, you almost got it, you pervert. All right,
I should have let Cass have that one.
We would have been sitting here waiting. Cass gets, Cass, you're such a perv. All right, final question. Gager looks to run the table on bunny trivia. Here we go. What was the name of the bunny in Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, shoot.
5, 4. This is going to kill you when I tell you the name. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Cass.
I'm just going to say rabbit.
Yes. Cass, you got it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was rabbit.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Good.
Cass.
Good.
Stops the shutout. 6-1 the final. Gager, congratulations, buddy.
Thanks. What can I say? I know my bunnies.
Yes, you do. Oh, I wish Cass would have got the Playboy question, though. That would have been all-timer. That would have been absolutely hilarious. That's good stuff. All right, so that's going to do it for today's episode of 2 Guys and a Goalie, brought to you by CoolBet. I'm taking off on Thursday to Monday. We're going to Victoria on a golf trip with a few buddies, so that should be nice. I've never been out there. We're going to play Bear Mountain and a bunch of the courses around there. My sisters live in Victoria. I kind of feel like I should go see them, but at the same time, I'm on a golf trip. They've already messaged me. They're like, well, come out to Bear Mountain. You can buy us dinner. I'm like, probably going to be busy. So I don't know. What do you think? Like, do I sneak away? It's only 4 of us on this golf trip. So do I sneak away from a group of 4 to go have dinner with my sisters? Or do I just say, sorry, sis, we're busy?
You gotta see the fam. You gotta see the fam.
I'm going to see them again in the summer. My sister's getting married this summer. So
go to the Phillips Brewery in Victoria.
Phillips. All right.
Phillips. Yeah.
Write that down here. Yeah. We won't be disappointed?
No, you will not be disappointed.
All right, we'll see what we can do. So no episode on Thursday, and then I get back Monday night, so we'll do an episode Tuesday. Our next episode, 2 Guys and Goalie, will be on day 2 of the National Hockey League playoffs. So that'll be a big one, right into the thick of it, boys. So that's going to be absolutely outstanding stuff. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and we will talk to you next week, guys.
All right, boys. Later.